Hello everyone! Happy Friday! So today, since we always talk about how to fight your fears on Friday, I wanted to just put in a little quick tip on a way not to be afraid of what's being said about you online. So if you haven't already, we're going to talk about how to set up a Google alert, and I'm going to walk you through it with a screen share. And you can pretty much use Google Alerts for, anything that you want, any keyword, any phrase that you want to have Google say, okay, I'm going to search throughout, I guess its own files, but I'm going to search throughout the web for the keywords that you input, and I'm going to tell you about them. And that's a perfect way for you to say, hey, anybody talking about you? Anybody stealing your information? That could be as far as your name, any trademarks, any taglines, your slogans, logos, anything that you use for your business that you want to protect and you want to have have an eye on to make sure that nobody else is using it when they shouldn't be. Likewise, it doesn't always have to be that it's something coming from a place of fear. It could be that a lot of times, we do a lot of different interviews for people and we have a lot of guest posts going on and we've put our name out there and maybe we forgot to write it down or we don't quite remember, maybe just another blogger's throwing us some love and we didn't know about it. It's always nice to get that little alert and say, oh my goodness, so-and-so's talking about me, and then you can kind of share the love and reciprocate. So anyway, I thought that'd be a great way to do it. So what we're going to do is go into Google, obviously google.com. It's great, and you can see up here I've already put it in there, but if you were just into google.com, it would bring you up to the main page, which is what we're looking at, and then go to /alerts, which will bring you to a page that looks something like this. As you can see up here, I am not yet signed in because I wanted to show you. If you don't have a Google account yet, with Gmail and all that, what are you waiting for? But no, Google pretty much is it. So get on Gmail, use the calendars, use Google Chrome, all those, things that everybody tells you to do. Go ahead and do it. There's a reason. Google's leading, number one, they're leading for a reason. You might as well use their products. So if you don't have an account, create one. But let's just say you do and you're going to use it to sign in. And obviously, as you can see, I use quite a bunch of them. It doesn't necessarily matter which, but we'll go into this one. And I have sticky passwords, so mine will automatically pre-fill, but you'll obviously just type it in if you need to. And it brings you to this page, again, google.com/alerts, and here's where you're going to create the alert that you want to know about. And it could really be anything. If you want to, have an alert set to you every single day, someone talking about bananas, type in the word banana. Obviously, you'll see I have several set up, and then we'll go ahead and set one up. This email that I've signed in with is my Helicopter Mom Gmail account. So, I have all these different things that made sense when I was trying to find, and I still do have the alerts, obviously, but, Helicopter Mom, Just Plain Dad, that was our name, Helicopter Mom and Just Plain Dad, Seeley Reed, and I used to use just my initial, then I started spelling out my name. Obviously, my new account is SeeleyReed.com, and then I just put in a C for any kind of strange way that somebody might be able to do it. This is creating the alerts so that anytime any of these phrases written just like they are is found online, Google is going to, kind of scrape that and send me a nice little email saying, hey, we found this phrase somewhere online and here's the information so you can go look at it. And I get them all the time because obviously I've been around for a while with that particular parenting blog. But it's just nice to know that, hey, something else is going around, or maybe they spelled it wrong. You can always make corrections. And I don't block off time on my calendar for it per se, but I'd say I'd spend at least, once a week if I get any alerts, I then go and make corrections that are needed or some updates. Hey, if it's going to send it to you and it's either yours or somebody else's information, you might as well take the time to reach out and, just kind of, say, hey, thanks for sharing something, or I don't appreciate you stealing that, those sort of things. So anyway, to create an alert, again, you just pretty much type it in here, and that, we'll just use the simple little example that I put, bananas. Obviously, I don't want to create an alert that talks about bananas because I'm sure it's talked about a lot on the web and I'll get a million emails. But as you'll see, when you do type in whatever keyword or phrase or name you want in there, it starts bringing up the things that it already has found, which means that if I was to create this alert under this account, all of these things that have that word in it are going to be emailed to me, and you can either do it as they come or in a digest, and I'll show you that setting next. Bananas is not a good one, but that's exactly how you do it. You just type it in there and then you hit create the alert and boom. Again, if you wanted it to be, trying to think of something that might be, I already have them for all of my name, so that wouldn't be too great. But let's just say like business blog. Oops. Blog. And again, you're going to make these to what, are important to you. I would definitely do your name, any tagline or logo that you use that is specific to you. And then another great way to use it is also to kind of check in on your competition. So, we have plenty of people in our group. If one of them maybe is in the same niche as you and you want to kind of keep an eye on what your competition's doing or what they're writing about, put it up in there. So again, you'll see as I change it to business blog, boom, a couple of the words are coming up. And I'm pretty sure, let me just double check here, but if I put it in quotes, it will do that entire phrase instead of picking out those two words. Right. So if, for instance, you wanted to just, if your alert was business blog, without the quotes, it's going to send you everything that has the word business and then everything that has the word blog. So put quotes if it happens to be a particular phrase. But anyway, that's how you'll set it up. So these are the alerts, like I said, that I happen to have on this parenting blog. And right here, this little cogwheel is where you can go into your settings. So you'll click that, and there's a couple of options. One is your delivery time. If I click it, it's going to say choose when to receive your alerts, and I can pick any time. So in other words, if I click that, it's going to send them to me at 4 p.m. on whatever I pick in the digest. The digest then it says receive all alerts in a single email. So if I click that, it's then going to say how often. And there's a couple choices. At most once a day or at most once a week. Whatever you prefer. And it's asking deliver to and then whatever the email is. It will always default to the emails that you have set up under that Google login. For mine, obviously, it's helicoptermom and justplaindad@gmail, but I also have a Yahoo account that I use. And again, you can do these independent of each other. If you just want to digest once a day, Google will pick when it wants to send it to you. If you tell it when to deliver it, like maybe you only ever check, you want to pop in at 9 p.m. at night, then just change that, to 9 p.m. It knows, Google knows whatever your PC setting is, so it'll take it. And then you just hit save. And what that will do is that it sets up that, hey, I want to hear every single day at 9 p.m. about all of these alerts. Any alert you find, send me one email and tell me what you found. Or you can set it up weekly. You can turn off the time. You can turn off both of them, and it will send it as it happens. If you do not check any of those boxes, every single time it finds one of the your keywords and key phrases, it's going to just send it to you right away. I prefer, because most of the time, let's be fair, most of the stuff is not malicious that's going to be happening, or it's not things that people have stolen or taken your copyright. It's going to be just things, people that are naturally talking about you or where you've been featured in different articles. So it's usually good news. Kind of a little bit opposite of what we're talking about on Fear Friday, but let's go with it. So once a week to have that digest sent at any particular time works perfectly fine. It's good enough to check in on it. And then you'll see here, obviously, here's options like, let's say, well, this one's good. Say like helicopter mom. Maybe I was just getting way too much and I decided that, okay, that doesn't really work. I don't need to say that. I really want it to be helicopter mother. You can go here and edit and it'll bring it up and you can just edit what you want for the keyword and then you can change all of its sources. And again, just tell it what you want. You want a different language? Do you want it to check only in certain regions? Maybe your business is only in Florida and you could go ahead and pick that. I leave it any region because I want it to scroll the entire, blogosphere, the entire Google internet. But that's a way to do that. So you can edit. And if you no longer need it, like, I am definitely transitioning out my parenting blog. It's probably going to take a little longer than I expected, but when I don't need to monitor it anymore, pretty much, or I've sold it or whatever the situation is, I can just go and delete it. Boom, the alert is gone. It's a great way, like I said, to not only keep track of yourself, but maybe your other, another blog. There used to be, and she could very well be still around, but there used to be a blog called A Helicopter Mom. So with that phrase, and we'll see if it comes up. Ooh, that's a little bit strange. I don't know what that is, but there used to be another blogger that had that. If I wanted to kind of support her or use her or look at what she's just doing so I can kind of get a general idea for my business, I would make her one of my words so that anytime something exciting happens in her life, it's going to alert me. Obviously, people can do the same for you. So, and always make it something that you're, interested in needing something about. But it's just a great way to, you know, monitor so that you have that kind of sense of peace that, oh, somebody's not using my stuff. The other thing that is nice is, and I don't think people think of this as often, but I have used it, and again, if I signed into one of my other Gmails, you would see, this one's, you know, the parenting blog, but like if I was to sign in under my Celie Reed Gmail, my business blog, I have my keywords in there and my keyword phrases. So like the categories that I'm talking about, the topics on my blog, management, you know, time management, managing my time, organizational skills, being a boss, all of those phrases, I have keyword alerts about so that I can curate information. So I don't have to scour and scour and do all these Google searches. It's going to send it to me, those categories, every single day. I've set them up, and it's, you know, all I have to do is go in and look at them, and every day it's going to say, hey, here's the 5 people that were talking about organizational skills in business, or whatever the phrase is. And then boom, I can share that stuff on Facebook. I can curate it and send it through Twitter. It's just a great way to kind of stay within your niche and send everything out and about and have more information going, because obviously you want to share beyond yourself. Okay, so I think that's pretty much, you know, the extent of it. Don't be afraid about what's being said about you online. Get on there, find out exactly what it is, set up your keywords, you know, do it now. Even if you just start with one keyword that's your own name, or maybe your entire blog name altogether. Again, put quotes around it. You know, start seeing, it's kind of a fun way to give yourself a pat on the back, be like, oh wow, you know, hey, I just came across, you know, who knows, let's pray Forbes, you know, something like that. Hey, they're talking about me. So anyway, have a great day. Use this little tip and make sure you set up one. Once you do set it up, come back obviously to the Facebook, do a Facebook Live or put it in the comments. Tell me what you set up. See ya.